In our previous lecture, we stopped our discussion at inertia. So what is inertia? If net external force is zero, a body at rest continues to remain at rest and a body in motion continues to move with uniform velocity. So if you have an object, if the net force on that object is zero, so you have to first consider how many forces are acting on this object. So let's suppose you have an object here. So there will be so many forces. So one is in this direction, one is in this direction, one is in this direction. So let us call this as F1, F2, F3, F4. So in this case, this object will remain rest. Why? Because, so if you observe here, F1 is in opposite direction of F3 and F2 is in opposite direction of F4. So F1 cancels F3 and F2 cancels F4. So these all forces gets cancelled and net force on this object becomes zero. So this is what net force is. So if net external force is zero, a body at rest continues to remain at rest and a body in motion continues to move with a uniform velocity. So this property of body is known as inertia. So what is inertia? Inertia means resistance to change. So this concept of inertia we understood in our previous lecture. So today I'll give 3 important points of inertia and then later let us understand few examples of inertia. So hope this concept of inertia is clear to you all. So what is mandatory in this? Net external force should be zero. Then only a body at rest remains at rest and a body in motion continues to move with uniform velocity. So this is important. So next let us understand 3 points, or let us write 3 points for inertia and then we'll move on to the examples. So the first point here is, so this is for inertia. So inertia of rest is the inherent property of the body. So to remain in the state of rest unless acted upon by an external force. So this is the first point that you have to understand in the concept of inertia. So what this point means, so what is inertia of rest? It is an inherent property of the body. So that means it is an intrinsic property of the body. So that comes naturally. So this body at rest remain to be in a state of rest unless acted by an external force. So let's suppose you have kept for example this cap on the book. So now I'll tell that this cap is at rest. Is this cap at rest? Yes, this cap is at rest. Now is there any chances of moving this cap by itself? So will this cap move by itself without any force? No, right? So when I put a force on this cap from this side, then a cap moves in the direction of the force. So this is the property of inertia. So if you don't apply the force on this cap, then this cap would remain at rest. So this is the first property. That is, inertia of rest is the inherent property of a body to remain in the state of rest unless acted upon by an external force. Right. Next. Second. Inertia of motion is the inherent property of the body to continue in a state of uniform motion unless acted upon by an external force. So this point is again similar to the first point which we have written. So what this point means? So inertia of motion is the inherent property. So this again an intrinsic property of the body. And in this a body will continue to be in a state of uniform motion unless it is acted by an external force. So this is again a similar property to the inertia of rest. Next is inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. So this is again the inertial or not inertial, this is again an inherent property of the body. By virtue of which it is unable to change the direction of motion unless acted upon by an external force. So here this is inertia of direction. So this is again an inherent property of the body by which it is unable to change the direction of motion unless acted upon by an external force. So let's suppose object. So let us take the cap again for this example. So if this object is moving in this direction, will continue to move in this direction unless a force acts upon it to change the direction. So this is what the inertia of direction means. So inertia of direction is the inherent property of the body by virtue of which it is unable to change the direction of motion unless acted upon by an external force. So if this cap is moving in this direction, so if you apply a force in this direction, then only that can change the direction. If not, then this cap would move in this direction only. Clear? So these are the 3 points which are related for the inertia. So the first is inertia of rest, second is inertia of motion, and the third is inertia of direction. So no need to by heart these 3 points. So these 3 points for your understanding purpose. So try to understand the sentence and try to imagine what is inertia of rest, what is inertia of motion, and what is inertia of direction. So try to understand these 3 points. So don't by heart. So these points will not be asked in your examination. So next let us understand few examples for inertia. So examples of inertia. So these examples you will encounter in your day-to-day life. So the first basic example for inertia would be a book placed on a table. So let's suppose you have a table again and there's a book here. And this book would continues to be at rest due to inertia. So why this book on a table is at rest? So if you keep your physics book on your study table, will that move without your force? So that won't, right? So that book will not move. The book remains to be at stationary, or this book will continues to be at rest. So that is because of inertia. Next, it is displaced when a person pushes it with a force. So if a person pushes this book in this direction, then this book will get displaced. So if there is no force, or if there is no one who pushes this book, then this book would remain at a state of rest. So a book placed on a table continues to be at rest due to inertia. Clear? So again, let us take the cap for example. So I have kept this cap on the book, and this cap is at rest. Now this cap will remain rest for minutes, for hours, for months, for years, until and unless there is a force which makes this cap to displace. So if there is no force which acts on this cap, then this cap remains at rest. So this is the property of inertia. So a cap placed on a book continues to be at rest due to inertia. So this example is similar to this example. So a book placed on a table continues to be at rest due to inertia. So it is displaced when a person pushes it with the force. So hope you have understood this first example. So let us move to the second example. So what is second example? So an ball moving on a smooth surface continue to move with a constant velocity due to inertia. So a ball moving on a smooth surface continues to move with constant velocity due to inertia. So it will change its speed or direction of motion only if it is hit by the another body. So you have a smooth surface on which a ball is moving. So this is a ball, and this is the smooth surface. And a ball moving on a smooth surface continues to move with a constant velocity due to inertia. So this ball would continuously move on the surface without changing its direction or without changing its magnitude of speed or velocity until and unless a force acts upon it. So this is what? Inertia of motion. So the first example which we saw was for inertia of rest, and the second example here is for inertia of motion. So if a ball moving on a smooth surface continues to move with a constant velocity due to inertia. So due to inertia of motion, this ball continues to move on the surface without changing its direction or without changing its velocity. So this is the example for inertia of motion. Next, let us understand few more examples. So third example here is a person sitting in a vehicle at rest has his whole body at rest. So imagine a person who is sitting inside a vehicle. So if he sits, then this whole body will be at rest. So when this vehicle suddenly starts moving forward, the lower part of the body in contact with the vehicle moves forward. So you have a vehicle. So imagine this is a vehicle. So there is a person who is sitting inside this vehicle. So let me draw. So imagine there is a person who is sitting. So the person is sitting in the vehicle and this person is at rest with respect to the vehicle. So since this vehicle is at rest, so this person also will be at rest. So when vehicle suddenly starts moving forward, so what will happen? So the lower part of the body is in contact with the vehicle and this part moves in this direction. So, but upper part of the body continues to remain at rest due to inertia. As a result, the person has a tendency to fall back. Clear? So, there is a vehicle which is at rest. So, in this vehicle, there is a person who is sitting. So, if this person is sitting in the vehicle which is at rest, then this person will also be at rest. So, if suddenly this vehicle starts moving forward, then lower part of this person will also start moving in forward direction. But the upper part will continues to remain in a state of rest. So hence when the vehicle moves forward, this person will move backward. So this is again the illustration for the inertia of rest. So similar to this, you can also see one more example. So if in a moving bus, a body of a person has same velocity as that of bus. So there's a bus in which a person is sitting and this bus is moving. So now the body of a person has same velocity as that of the bus. So when bus suddenly comes to rest, the lower part of the body in contact with the bus comes to rest, but the upper part of the body will continues to move forward due to inertia. As a result, the person moves forward. So if a vehicle is moving with some speed, so the person inside this will also be moving with the same speed. So this person also will be moving with the same speed. But if this vehicle suddenly comes to rest, so let's suppose this distance, so the velocity of this vehicle will become 0. So that means this vehicle will comes to rest suddenly. But what will happen to this person? So the lower part of the body continues to move forward due to inertia. As a result, the person moves forward. So the lower part of the body will comes to rest, but upper part of the body will continues to move in the forward direction due to inertia. So this is again the example for the inertia of motion. So next example here is a person jumping down from a moving bus has a tendency to fall forward. So when a person was inside the bus, the whole body of a person moves with the bus. As soon as his feet touches the ground, the lower part of the body is brought to rest, but the upper part continues to move forward. So this is again an example for the inertia. So hope you all have understood what is inertia. So try to understand this example also. I cannot draw and show this example. So like if a person who is jumping down from a moving bus will fall forward. Why? Because so when this person was inside the bus, the whole body of person was with the bus. So whole body of this person was moving with the bus. So as soon as his feet, so when this person jumps, his feet touches the ground. At the lower part of the body is brought to rest. So when his feet touches the ground, so the lower part of his body will come to rest, but upper part will try to be in a motion, so that because of that he has a tendency to fall. So this is again due to inertia. So these are the few examples for the inertia. So moving forward, let us try to understand the Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion. So there are basically three laws of Newton. So first, let us understand Newton's first law. So the statement for this first law is, so every body continues to remain in its state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line until and unless it is compelled by an external force to change that state. So this is Newton's first law. So I'll write the statement here. Every body continues to remain in its state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line unless it is compelled by an external force to change that state. So this is the Newton's first law of motion. So this was the statement which is similar to the inertia. So if you have a body which is at rest, so that body will be in a rest unless and until there is an external force to change that state. Or if you have a body which is in uniform motion along a straight line, then this body will continue to move in a straight line until the force, external force, acts on it. So this is the Newton's first law. So the statement for the Newton's first law, second law, third law is important. So try to understand these three statements. So sometimes they will ask this in an examination. So if you know the statements clearly, then it will be well and good. So according to this law, what we have understood, so if net external force is 0, so a body at rest continues to be at rest and a body in motion continues to be in uniform motion. So in other words, if external force is 0, its acceleration will be 0. Then a body will have acceleration only if there is a net external force. So if external force is 0, acceleration of this body will be 0. So hence there will be no change in the state of the body. So this is the Newton's first law of motion. So in this we have to understand two frame of references. So the first is inertial frame of reference. And the second is non-inertial frame of reference. So you have basically two different types of frame of reference. So the brief introduction to these two frame of reference has been given by me in the third chapter, I guess. So here now let us try to understand what are this inertial frame of reference and non-inertial frame of reference in depth. So a frame in which an observer is situated and makes his observation, then that kind of frame is his frame of reference.